the astrology of Tuesday, December 23rd through Thursday, December 25th, 2025 is perfect for celebrating Christmas if you celebrate. And if you're having a quieter holiday than usual this year, that might feel like it's right on time. Or if you are getting together with loved ones or friends now, whether you celebrate this holiday or not, the Venus Neptune square, that is exact this week during this period, is great for relaxing, releasing stress, and letting go of old relationship stories or even old money stories that don't serve us anymore. This Venus Neptune square is actually kind of great, especially at this time of year. So let's talk about it. I'm going to go ahead and put this up on the chart. Oh, I forgot to uh, turn my screen up. I hope that's easier to see. Apologies that it started a little low. So we have Venus here at the final degrees of Sagittarius coming into a square with Neptune at 29 degrees of Pisces. And there is a significance to the fact that we're talking about 29 degrees here, especially where Neptune is concerned because it's a slower moving planet. So Venus goes around the chart quite frequently. Neptune, not so much. It's rare for Neptune to change signs, only happens every 15 years or so. And then this is an extra special move from Neptune, for Neptune, going from Pisces into Aries, from the end of the zodiac around to the beginning of the zodiac. So there is sort of this very real, but with Neptune, nothing is really like super obvious, really. But at the same time, there's a very real culmination, ending type energy right now. We sort of have one foot in the new already, but we're doing a lot of the endings right now. We're doing a lot of the culminations. That's a little bit besides the point, though, when we think about the energy of this Christmas period, these few days this week, however you're spending them. It is the dominant energy, though, this signature. I will also mention that this Jupiter Chiron square, I actually spoke about it in the last report, but it's still active here. It's still active these next few days. And I think that that is adding a healing potential here. I'll talk a little bit more about that, but it just, at once I've talked about this, which is really the dominant energy, and there is more in the last report that I did on the solstice and the Sagittarius new moon, which is still active right now. All of those energies too. So that's a video very much worth watching. As is the video I did with my friend Corinne, friend and fellow astrologer, wonderful astrologer Corinne. You can find that on my channel, and I will link it at the end of this video as well. We did a video on what I called the most significant astrology of 2026 on Saturn and Neptune conjunct at 0 degrees of Aries, at 1 degree of Aries, at that very, very early degree point. And it's quite the conjunction. And it was a great conversation. So check that out. That's a really important video, I think, right now for knowing what's coming up in 2026 with the astrology. And of course, this comes together in all kinds of different ways in the collective and for different individuals. But there's some really exciting potential there, for new, for what is brand new, for breaking into a new reality. So as much as we have this signature now of endings, as we get into the mid to late winter, as we get into February and we have our eclipse season kick off, the Aquarius Leo axis eclipses, and the Saturn Neptune conjunction all in February, that's going to feel more like we're really in the new. Now we're kind of there is sort of this culmination energy. But okay, so Neptune dissolves. Neptune releases and relaxes and disperses. And Venus is about relationships and finances and aesthetics and more. But I would say those are the three sort of dominant themes that I tend to see the most with Venus: aesthetics, finances, relationships. So things coming together in this way at this time, I think is pretty interesting. There's the potential. There's always multiple potentials. We always talk about that here. Um, there's potential for really putting down stress. We can put down our stress a little bit now with an aspect like this. It sort of reminds me of that energy of being at throwing a holiday party. And then once the party actually starts, it's sort of just time then for relaxing and enjoying it and letting go a little bit and just being present with the party as it is and enjoying. It kind of reminds me of that energy a little bit. But, it can go deeper with that, especially with Neptune at 29 degrees of Aries. I feel like that suggests that it could be. We can let go of some old stories. We can let go of some old ways of seeing things. We could be sort of putting down old relationship patterns, old ways of moving through things, even old ways of understanding ourselves, not just others, but ourselves and our story. Um, but there's a relaxing to it, you know? Uh, it's interesting how relaxing is sort of actually a part of achieving our goals, sort of letting go. And I think a good example actually is that holiday party example, right? If you throw a holiday party or any kind of really even just a family Christmas, if you're doing something for children or whatever it is that you're doing, it's interesting how and I'm just using that as an example, but um, uh, letting go and enjoying it is part of how you achieve what you wanted to achieve. It's how the sort of enjoyment of the day actually comes is from being in that place where then you can kind of be present, right? Where we can at some point put down the doing and then really allow our goal to be realized when we sort of step into being present. So it's sort of that kind of letting go, there's the potential with a transit like this, especially in the context of everything else going on in the chart and where everything's been lately, and the fact that we have this Jupiter Chiron too, um, for sort of being like in order to uh, get the most from this, I'm going to put down the stress. I'm going to put down the old ways of doing things. I'm going to put down the old patterns in some kind of way. And kind of just relax into it and enjoy and understand and appreciate the importance of that. I think we do have to be careful of a couple things with this. I could see I could see substances and overdoing substances a little bit with a transit like this, always with Neptune. And then we're talking about the holidays and yeah, letting go a little too much in that way. So be careful of that. Um, And then I could also see, because it's connected to money, like some funny feelings around finances coming to the surface. I mean, this is um, a holiday that involves spending money in a lot of cases, and that's something that's a little bit strained right now. So it can be easy to sort of have that feeling in the background of sort of a little bit of regrets or funny feelings about finances in some kind of way. And I mean, that could mean different things: that you spend too much. Is there going to be enough next year? Did we spend enough? Is it, are we in, I don't even know. There's so many different ways in which feelings about finances can be a little bit challenging, and I could just see working with that this week a little bit, and that makes sense to me with the holiday as well and themes around that. I don't want to give too many examples, but what I really love is that there is this healing potential here, especially because of the Jupiter Chiron square. We have this Jupiter square Chiron, and you can see it's really the only other major aspect in the sky that's really quite strong. Everything else here is kind of faint, kind of dim, the points that I track. And once Venus on the 24th moves into Capricorn, it breaks up this square. And then we're sort of just left in a way with the Jupiter Chiron healing signature, although I do think this is the dominant, energy of the weekend, or not the weekend, but these few days. There is something about the healing potential to all of this. So I think that this is a great period, however you celebrate it, and people celebrate it in all kinds of different ways. You know, we often, I think, in the course of a lifetime, have different kinds of holidays. You may have a period surrounded by lots of people, and then periods that are more quiet. Um, if you're someone who celebrates this holiday, but just to say, sometimes holidays can be challenging, I think, for a lot of people, and for one reason or another. And I always think that the Capricorn energy, the sort of seriousness of that Capricorn energy, comes in a little bit as we get closer to Christmas, and you can sort of feel it. Whereas building up, we're in the Sagittarius season, it's more fun and optimistic and hopeful. And then Capricorn things sort of feel a little bit heavier. And I think that could be the case as well around the financial piece. Capricorn gets very real about finances, and we really see that as we head into the new year and we start thinking more about setting goals and being very intentional about our time and trying to make things happen. Sort of becomes less about enjoying the holidays as we move from Sagittarius season into Capricorn season, and more about thinking more seriously about where we are and what we want to do next and how we're feeling about things, setting goals, priorities, making plans. Um, we are still very, very much under the time of that Sagittarius new moon and solstice. So I'm going to attach that video here. And I'm also going to attach the Saturn Neptune conjunction for 2026 video that I mentioned. Um, And I hope that you have a wonderful few days. I am in a bit of a hurry today, so I'm not going to do too much with the chat, but I've been reading. I've been reading along the way. And hello, I hope you have a wonderful few days. Sorry that I'm in a bit of a hurry today. I will be back on Friday, and I'm looking forward to it. And I just appreciate uh, all the support and all the kind words and how kind you all are to each other. And I just love this little community that's building here. So I appreciate you, and I hope you have a nice few days. I think taking a little bit of time to be a little bit slow, whatever you're doing, might serve. There is a potential sort of loosening or dreaminess or healing potential through letting go here. And I think that a little bit of slow time, if you can get it, quiet time, if you can get it, might serve that process. So We have a lot of exciting, positive astrology in the year ahead. Uh, Stay positive. I've sort of been noticing a lot of astrology anxiety lately, not as much on this channel, but other places, on, just different places. And we want to stay away from that. Don't let this stuff scare you. Astrology is there's multiple potentials with everything. There's nothing negative. I hear, I don't know, people start looking at transits for the next year. People are getting nervous because of different things coming up with Aries, and I don't know. There's always ways to lean into different kinds of astrology anxiety. Again, I almost don't want to give examples. I think there's a lot of positive astrology next year. I feel really excited for what's to come. But even if I didn't, even if you see something in your own chart that concerns you, don't try to let that go too at this time, because astrology is meant to be a tool. The most important thing is the way we show up every day and what we do, and trying to do our best, and staying positive, staying hopeful about the world, thinking positively about ourselves and our potential. And that's the most important thing. This astrology is really just a tool for introspection, for personal growth, you know? So, uh, I guess that's what I would say about astrology anxiety, and also just to take a break, take a little bit of a break from it. We should never overdo it with the consumption of astrology content. Anyway, so anyway, I wish you all a wonderful Merry Christmas if you celebrate, a wonderful quiet few days. If that's what you're looking forward to, time with family and friends, if that's what you're looking forward to, and maybe a little quiet time and a little moment to process and relax and release stress, whatever it is you're doing. I appreciate you very much. We're having a little bit of snow right now. It's nice. I can show you out the window. A little snow. It's nice. It's nice to see. Thank you for being here.